to pull out a good win here against Elevate. Well, they'll be more than happy to be on an equal first spot.
Okay, Rainbow Six, let's see what you have to offer. No Finka, Elevate removing it. This is something that I was a bit curious about, is how Finka would play. It was a conversation. We're not going to entirely say that NA uses her as a crutch. No. But it is prevalent. It's something that sort of suffered a couple of bans towards the end of the NAL run, but it has been a little bit more of a common ban across the APAC region. We've seen a couple of teams like DAMWON especially, steadily remove it. Then we've also seen it in EU as well, and Latin America. So percentage-wise, NA had the most Finka plays, the least Finka bans.
Yeah, Finka is a very, very meta-deciding currently operator. And Izami, whilst also a new operator, we're not quite seeing her into play yet. Again, to be banned out. With Finka gone as well, that's the heal. That is the revives on range for the attack that are currently off the board as well. Astralis will be starting off with that. As for now, we do see the Lion to come out, which might always indicate a bit of a quick pace start. Repick is always still on the board. And that means that, you know, everything can change. Basically, only look at what the defenders have, because that won't change. Do you want to know a fun fact?
I always want to know a fun fact.
If you look at Oregon, and you look at the man on your top left of the screen, what is the first thing that comes to mind?
The first thing that comes to mind
when you see Onigiri,
when I see Onigiri on Oregon with a DMR, I think of world records.
I think of the 27 kills he managed to drop.
I think
that was
27 kills.
Also part of the Aruni, indeed, to come through, shooting through those laser gates towards Blue with the DMR, picking up multiple kills. He feels really good in this map here, and that is something Elevate can really use to their advantage. Now, we're getting going. 3 minutes of action phase here in round one, and we'll find out soon who will set the pace and who will set the tone.
All right, here it is, stacked up and ready to rock and roll. DP Fire instantly putting some pressure there down towards the swing of Blue, but there's a lot left to do. The stretch up towards the top of tower. They have themselves an extension, and Forest is very quick. Astralis, 30 seconds down, hatch being popped open. They've made a bit of movement here. Forest is going to see if he can find a fight. Droned ahead. There's two players, one up, one down. They've isolated one, swung for the fight on the other. Take the camera. When's the next going to show up? They're a bit too under pressure. The Nook has come for a bit of support. The swing round. They don't know about Mark, though. He's done a little bit of dodgy work, and, well, now he's looking for the shotgun, hoping they come round. There is grenades, obviously, in the pocket. They'll probably find the follow-through next. But here, Astralis, they wanted to take this territory in the blink of an eye. They're tiptoeing around the side of a fight. Mark's got himself a rotate out. He knows he needs to hit it before he's entirely surrounded. Oh, he took that a little bit dangerously, but he's able to find a bit of space. They're still closing down. DP Fire now stacked on the window. The second E1D, the spray through, but it's the first that falls. Forest goes down. The trade is J90, and Astralis, they were able to get their blood.
They needed to hunt down Mark, and they wanted to go quick down the back stairs, but unfortunately shut down by Sepper and Mark playing there, slowing them down ever so slightly. And eventually that first kill will come in for Elevate, instantly traded out, however, but more importantly, a minute 30 wasted on that clock, and they did manage to find Forest, a player who consistently does get the plants down for Astralis, now no longer has the opportunity to do so. The diffuser is still cold outside of the window, so it's easily recovered if you go down green, jump outside, and pick it back up, so no real worry there for Astralis.
Well, it's hit the boards running, and then there's what Astralis are trying to do here. That wasn't just anything that we'd define as a rush, but it was rushed, it was quick, it was aggressive, and it was all over the shop. They made sure that there was a lockdown. The loop comes through the burn on the Aruna gate, a spray through, and it's J90 to find Sapper on the swing round. The second grenade might be able to get the full catch. Obviously, the Wamai is still alive in a position. They escape, but they don't want to lose the power too much. They moved into the pillar instantly. The swing round, there's one. There's the fight back. There's Astralis in a 1 versus 3. Onigiri is trying to hit the heavy hammer on the far side in the back line of the site. The kid is upstairs, but they have 40 seconds. They have all the time in the world. They do get DP Fire up. Onigiri sort of making a statement on positioning. Can't find J90! And Astralis take round one.
Might have made a little bit too much noise there, and in the background I hear the calls, "What are you doing?" coming out from Astralis. We take that very first. Elevate might have been a bit too aggressive there to some extent. especially near the end of the round. Mark, he started off strong, got that very first kill, instantly traded out. However, 90 seconds left on the clock, but it was enough for Astralis to start punching to the site. Lack of ADS or potentially magnets there to make sure they couldn't hold onto the pillar position. Perhaps. But we'll get going again next round. And it will be up in the top 4. In the bedrooms, where Elevate wants to hold on. Now, of course, quickly swapping over towards the heart breach. They, of course, need to open up either the attic or the walk-in closet towards the bedroom. Soon that choice will be made.
Okay, well, a very big change around in the pockets of who's got what. The E1Ds are off the board. They didn't quite have, I would say, a direct movement, but it was used very, very well. And that's kind of the same expectation I have. J9O is going to pick up the Candelas, see if they can try and roll them through a little bit sharper. Again, a very wide start here from the sides of Astralis. There's bodies all over the shop. They're sort of making sure they have a presence everywhere. They're not letting Elevate breathe on this map, and that's sort of what you have to do. Take the game with a strong arm and hold on until the end.
Quick drones coming through, trying to figure out if they can be attacking with the same pace as they had before. And to some extent, yes. It's quite a bunch of a spread from Elevate, but they're not really out far into the building. So the first couple of entries are relatively free for Astralis to take hold of. And that's exactly what they're currently trying to do. Get these drones in position, make sure you set up that drone network, and after that you can start taking the ground physically. Put those guns on the board. Make sure you isolate some of these Elevate players like Mark, who only just rotates back up or around these white slips. Somehow survives there from the grenade. And Mr. Punch, who also receives a bit of pressure.
That's it. He's tucked in. The hatch is soft, I believe, so they can get a bit of an escape if they need to. Astralis haven't been able to get the full catch on the first player, but they also lost, technically, the entry on the previous round, and well, they're always a team that wants to keep trying to improve and improve and improve. There's the drop on the hatch. The breach gets popped open. They're ready to try and take the drop as soon as they want to. They're stacked up all the way to the top floor. Mr. Punch is hoping he finds a fight before it goes, with Iconic making sure nobody rotates around on the back. The pressure is on Astralis. J9O, he's going for a bit of a long-range rotation. Onigiri is the lockdown onto Attic in case they try and tuck the window, but they might just do that. The grenade over the top catches DCH, tucked on the bomb chassis, and now they're all the way up white stairs.
And this really lets them lock it off here. Soon a jump in will come through, especially with these Candelas about to be flying in from the kids' window right here. They're all in and around the side. They just need the cover to be on point, but Mark will be able to find one as the return comes through. Sapper finds one as well as the plant is down.
Oh no, it's just caught out at the very last second there. It's down and locked in, but with only one player left there underneath, they have the sight back, and sure, you get it down, but the player down at the same split second means that it's this Elevate step themselves back in, find a response and around, and well, Astralis, they've suffered at the end of that, but it started with their entrance so far. 0-2-2 of who gets the entry wins the round.
Yeah, entries are often quite important. So let's see. Let's keep our eyes on that. See if that indeed continues this way. Now, just quickly looking at the organ stats of both these teams. If you look at defense, Elevate on average wins 4-ish out of 6 rounds per half. Astralis on the attack wins on average 4-ish out of 6 rounds. So it really comes down to who's going to be getting the better half right here before we truly know who is going to be truly in charge. We're here in Oregon. Of course, the meta slowly started to shift towards the attack itself. And that might also be the case right here. So whoever does better on the defense might find themselves with a win at the end of the day.
1 for 1. Kind of with all the excitement that you wanted this game to have, obviously. Not just a delay that sort of affected Elevate. Astralis was sat with a different plan of your day, and when that changes, sometimes you've got to rebuild and restructure around it. There were videos posted of them having a very good time in their practice room earlier on today, having a bit of a dance, and they've danced themselves into this. DCH was the first off the board last time, and the Jaeger is curious about finding someone on the wrong end of that, but nobody was home.
Just literally walked out underneath his sight there, so wasn't going to be able to catch anybody off guard. But that's fine. He went for the attempt. At least makes them know that, hey, I'm there. You need to be paying attention to me. You cannot just forget about me. As DCH continues to take out some of these drones. Now, line looking to be used to get a quick opening up into the bedroom. Reinforcements are still coming through here, as Astralis is looking to take this top floor under their control.
That's it, Shuttle. He's just digging his way across the top of Armory. Iconic on the far side is catching anybody that might pop up on the top of White Stairs. It's Mark. He's isolated. He's trying to offer all of the swing support, but it's verticality that you need to try and get the lockdown here onto this side. It's either a stage or a vertical take. That's that window popped open. That Shuttle round on the backside. The Candelas pop around. The smoke covers White, and he's inside, but he can't see anything, and neither can we. Now swinging round over the hatch. They've lost the player, lost control, but there's still one on the top of White Stairs, which he's in the middle of everything. He's able to get one. Iconic's down. Swings round, expects a bit of a response from the top of the stairs. There are player, there is pressure, there is a lot more, but they haven't been able to force him out. There's another, there's the kit. Marcus pushing into the open space and taking body after body. He's tucked all the way around. He is the kit. Somebody's going to rotate to the double window, so pressure's going to come. Is there one more? There is almost one more. What? There is one more. Mark gets the connection. DP fire with the Candelas. There's J90 up the White Stairs. They're going for the double push and the ping, but he's still running about, causing a menace and being a problem. He's looking for one more fight here. It's a slow jiggle. The pre-fire and the angle finally taken out of the equation, but my word, the damage he had done.
He should have been taking out 2 kills before that one, Emmy. He was able to find the first. Fair enough. The second, that's a bit questionable, but the third definitely should not have happened. A lack of information there on the side of Astralis might come to hurt them now, because we're in that 3v2 situation, and Agiri is just quickly trying to sneak out here. There's no real entrance here for Astralis, except for through security, and if they take that, they'll be walking right into the crossfires that are being set up here by Elevate.
Pre-fire on the Banshee as soon as they move around the corner. DCH, he tried to put some pressure down on the backside of Zulu, but they've slipped their way past. There's a Candela around on the corner. There's a Captain Wamai just before nobody could see. Onagiri's gone, and so Sapper! Elevate, they find themselves in the lead 2 rounds in a row.
Have to give the credit to Mark there. He finds that first, sticks around for the second, actually going back up the White Stairs, and then finds a third who is sledging the ground. I'm just going to say it. You should have gotten a drone out as soon as he got to that very first kill from the White Stairs. They might have expected him, okay, he's fallen off. He's gone back towards the side. We don't have to worry about him. But if you're not 100% sure, you need to treat that White Stairs like there might still be someone there. If he then picks up a second kill, okay, well, you could be going down the White Stairs, you could be going back to the side, or he digs in deeper into the actual side. If no one is watching that, you will be picked up yet again. And Astralis, a huge oversight there, allowing Elevate to find their second round.
We said it after the first game. Mark being top of the board, it's a little bit of a statistical anomaly. It's not really the place he finds it, and he's gone, I'll show you statistical anomaly. And he's found himself so quick into the response of this. Elevate, they're seemingly warmed up. They're sharper than they were at the beginning of the game against Steam. It's still early doors and days, and we know Astralis will always have more in the canister and the tank. But that little bit of a misplay and a miscommunication as to where that player was handed the second kill, which shouldn't have happened. Getting the third at the end of that
is criminal.
What it seemed like another rotate. Did they just assume he'd gone down White? And is this something where we talked about before? What do you expect from APAC? From us, that.
Yeah, for sure. Like, we know these teams. We watched them multiple times. We know they want to go aggressive. And as there's a lot of scans coming out from the line there, there's no one really there to follow up on it. Unless they wanted to go for a quick push up on the top. And that's exactly what they did. They took some control of the kitchen, of the dining area. And of course, you have that under control now. But Elevate really not playing outwards. They're all truly onto that basement floor. But you need to be careful that they don't go for a late flank.
You can see that Sap has sort of stacked himself up. They're not in too aggressive a position they were before. They expected a bit of pace that came through from Astralis, which they've done. It's a very good clear, a very quick clear, a minute in, and they've already pretty much feel confident with the top floor. They're going to start trying to batten down the hatches on the basement itself. They roll the drone past Zappa.
Did they see him?
Surely they did, because I saw him.
I was going to say, you better do, but the drone didn't... Oh, it's turn around now.
There's a drone just behind Zappa. Zappa didn't see the drone, maybe, or he's just trusting that. There's the E1Ds, there's a bounce of grenades, there's some pressure. The hatch, I'm not sure if it's open or closed, but there's a smoke canister that's going to make sure he buys himself a little bit more time.
He's definitely being spotted out here, though. But the only true thing that he needs to be afraid of is grenades to bounce around the corner. And if you look on the right side of your screen, there's only 3 left as DP Fire will take down Mark, the man of the hour in that last round here. And it's a great pickup for Astralis.
The drop on the hatch comes through there over the bottom. Mr. Punch is able to find one. There's a swing, but it's covered from the side. There's another one. Mr. Punch hits hard. 3 down on the side of the door of Freezer. DP Fire's left looking at a bulletproof and an ADS right in front of him. He has some support from J90, doing a bit of pressure around on the side of blue, and he's looking for the cut all the way across that E-box there on the core. It's a swing round. DCH is able to find the connection, the pistol over the top, sprayed through, but Mr. Punch with the 4K.
They're starting to get loud now on the side of Elevate as they manage to pick up yet another round, Emmy. They will extend their lead here on the defense in Oregon, and a tactical timeout is being called by Astralis. 45 seconds. They will have to discuss and see what's going wrong, but I can give them some pointers right now.
Go on. They can't hear you, but go on.
I know they can't, but the rest of the people back at home will understand. It is about the fact that Elevate, especially in that third round, able to hit and continue pushing onwards without them expecting them that they've taken the ground. Elevate doesn't fall back after they get a kill.
No.
They attack more. It's like, you get a kill? What about 20 more meters? They get a kill. What about 20 more meters? And they continue pushing on like that.
There's an old thing in football, soccer, to our American friends, which is called attack the space, which is if you see a pocket of space, you attack it. You move into it. That is Elevate's game. That is the game they like to play. If there is space, they will attack it. They won't sit by and wait for things to come. Astralis are the same. Astralis, I think against a lot of other teams, this would be working a trick. The plays that they're doing, the coordination, everything that we talked about and love about seeing Astralis, it's here. But so is Elevate. That one rogue statistic that loves to fly around, and that's an Astralis moment to sort of catch their breath and go, we need to expect this now.
They definitely need to expect it. They need to act on it. Maybe even like pre-act on it. Like be ready to reply to the situation if it happens, or set yourselves up so you can instantly give a response if Elevate go for it. And I mentioned it before. On average, Astralis, they get 4 out of 6 rounds on their attack on Oregon. On average, Elevate gets 4 out of 6 rounds on their defense on Oregon. You see where this is going?
I see where this is going.
If Elevate gets one more than Astralis, they might be in big trouble for the rest of their game.
Only time and scores and the 10 players in the game and the coaches behind them and the support staff will tell just where we end up. Here, that is Astralis' timeout done. This is the lead in New Look Astralis. Let's see. We are kind of missing Iconic in this game. Forrest as well hasn't quite hit the boards yet. Iconic didn't have the sharpest start to NAL, but then really found his feet as time went on. There are a little bit of an idea of what's he going to bring. He was such a big tour de force throughout Charlotte. He was the man that pretty much everybody in the crowd's name screamed a few times. So him having a quicker start here, him having a catch a moment, that could be massive for them right now.
Yeah, if you just look at it, Iconic actually the 2nd rated player of this team during the North American League. So him missing out a little bit now, and Forrest, by the way, best rated player of this team during the NAL, missing out basically tells you that Astralis are struggling a little bit here. But enough about that. They're starting to open up with these Heartbreach catches onto the attic area. DCH does go down though. Forrest will find his very first and will allow him to continue on. Now breach onto the bedroom walls, but they haven't actually cleared out the tarp onto, that is the attic. So we might actually see it rotate into the big tower soon.
Just gets the width of the couch there against the mute jammer. It's an awkward opener, but it's an opener. And it gives a little bit more awkward into the side of Elevate. They have Mark. Look where he's gone.
Sapper.
Oh, into the space. Sapper. He's gone into the space. He's concerned about somebody watching around on the far side. If he can get somebody going for the hop over, that's what he's hoping. Onto the white. There he goes. Onto the next step. There he goes. Into Sapper. There he goes. Gone. And now onto the swing round. Onto the top of white stairs. There's one more. Doesn't quite get the full connection. But now he's concerned. There is the body in trophy. Still tucked round. Holding on. But Mark, he moved into the other space. He retook attic. Now Forrest has to do a little bit of a dirty job. But there's Elevate once again. Iconic. Off the bottom of the board. Finds himself his first 2 more. And 50 seconds. A huge amount of time here for this player to really start to dig his teeth in if there's a moment. for him to start to find them swings that got Astralis so far. It is now slight separation in the two players. He's going to see if he can try and get a little bit of this kit down. They'll hear the audio and they bait the first play. It's brought them closer, and it's brought a bit of a dangerous game. Iconic, he's hoping for the swing, but it's on Akiri!
And that's going to be the fourth round of Elevate here. They played that well, especially Sepper. You said it before, they attacked the space. What did they do? Oh, let's put the exothermic down into the walk-in closet wall, Emmy. And you know what? Let me just go over to Trophy at that point. No drone, no flank watch, nothing there. Sapper takes the ground, finds one, deals a lot of damage to Forest as well.
It happened twice as well, because as that was happening, Mark on the far side retook the breach on Attic. We saw him holding it as both our breach charges went, and then as soon as the player left, Mark went, oh cool,
this is mine now.
I can go through this now. He stacked himself up on the window right next to that breach, and as soon as they tried to find some pressure elsewhere, oh hey man, it's me Mark. You remember me? Now you do.
Free real estate, as he would say. As Elevate would say. There's no one there? Well, we take it. If you don't want it, it is ours. 4-1 in the current scoreline here. Doing very well against Astralis. And you know what I said against, the previous game when they were up against MNM? If they pick up a point that might be considered a win against Astralis, who are some of the tournament favorites.
5 seconds left.
To pick up 2, an even bigger win. 3, I don't think many would expect to happen here, especially if you looked at the social votes. 40% of the public believes in Elevate, 60% believes in Astralis, but Elevate definitely in charge right now. But we cannot forget this most crucial thing about Siege, is 2 halves.
2 halves.
There's always 2 halves.
It's never over, and it's tough to say that for the same of these two teams as well, who never really know when it's over. They'll keep the fight going, but Elevate, they are just so scrappy. Look at this. All of the pressure that's starting to pop the soft around DCH, and well, he's going to sit there just for now. Droning ahead of the players, trying to find a cut through onto the site. Onigiri, he's got that rotation. He's got that clarity in the sense of, oh, where are they coming from? Forest, going for the quick breach. The attention towards site. Last time, if we recall, they went heavy on top and heavy losses here. With that wall open, they now have an angle through onto the site. It's a different approach from Astralis. Can they find a different result?
Small amount of damage done to J9O there. Nothing too major to worry about, but still, Elevate is looking for these finds. They're happy to go for them at any given moment here.
Mark, he rebuilt a barricade.
Sometimes you just got to rebuild some of these barricades. Just put some more ground between yourself and the enemy. There's nothing wrong with that.
He rebuilt the barricade at the bottom of White Stairs, and it sort of gives that question of Astralis, who are they hunting? And the game is 10 seconds later, Intel is dead. In this Elevate, if they've been 2 seconds, they're gone. Expect them to either suddenly be in front of you or somewhere entirely else. And here, Astralis, I think they're picking up on that. 1:20. They got, obviously, the breach on the far side to make things a little bit tougher for Elevate. They still have shuttle close. Forest is trying to get open stage itself. This to stop them. Explosives to throw through on Onigiri.
C4!
Oh, the C4 is Sapper! And now that wall is going to stay hard.
Well, there's already a soft part next to it. They can still blow that out if they have the utility to do so with J9O, but that was what they were planning to go for. Use that. Another C4 might come around the corner. No, it's actually a smoke canister. A lot of damage done to Iconic, a lot of damage done towards Shuttle. They're in a 4v5 situation. Make that 2! As it is going to be Elevate that are starting to punch back even harder in this round.
Mark rotates round on the back. J9O opened up massive in the first round on their attack, and it's now all they have left on the last of their attack here. Spraying over the top of the shield, caught on the side of the Banshee, the swing round, and Astralis knocked to the side. There's a shotgun. There's a shotgun. Mr. Punch hits one more punch in his tally card of Astralis bodies. He has taken off the board. 5 rounds on Elevate's defense.
Against the just one of Astralis. Now they will be heading over towards the defense where they look to do the same, or hope they can do the same as Elevate just managed to dish out to them. But can they? Are they going to be able to stay in this? Elevate, they still have their tactical timeout ready to go. They only need 2 attacking rounds to make sure that they take the win here. Now, even 1 round is going to be able to give them at least a point. That is something to keep in mind as well. If they get 1 round, they'll be at the top of the table at least for another couple matches.
Oh, Astralis. Everything to play is ahead of you at this point. Now, obviously, it's a double round robin. Every team plays each team twice, and I think regardless of whether Astralis pull themselves back into this game, which is still possible or feasible or not, there's going to be a long talk about what to expect from Elevate on the second showing. Elevate themselves. Two more rounds, and then they'll have taken all maximum points from today. The less that they now lose to the side of Astralis as well. If you're looking at round difference,
exactly.
Oh, that could be massive.
Round differential is going to be that tiebreaker. So if they do manage to close this with a 7-1, 7-2, let's just, you know, throw that out there, then they'll definitely be in a good position. Oh, that's a rush coming through, Emmy. Right through the basement. It's only Forrest there. Is it going to get picked up? He's throwing out one of these mines, but it's not going to stop them.
Onigiri finds the first. DP Fire's gone. Forrest swings round and gets the drop. There's 2 bodies off the border. 3 versus 2. Suddenly, Iconic and J90, all that's left. DCH, he's stuck with the kit. He doesn't go for the plant as the blinds come through either side. He's swinging onto the corridor. There's a fight. Mr. Punch, he gets caught out, and now it's a 2 versus 2. But there's only really one of the Elevate players inside the site itself. Big from Astralis to be able to pull themselves back round. 2 minutes 10 on the clock. A bit of a reshuffle, a reschedule. J90 has been massive there from the swing round on the opposite side. Mr. Punch, he can't really go anywhere. That's the problem right now. Onigiri has to try and offer him a lifeline from the swing round. J90, he wants to go a bit dangerous. There's a bit of a swing. Iconic's waiting for the audio of somebody picking it up. They're trying to isolate a fight, but Astralis, they're playing this very clever. They've pulled themselves back. There's the swing onto the freezer door, doesn't quite get the full catch. It was a throw of a Prisma, a risk. There's the pop, there's Onigiri. Swings round, takes one. J90 gets one back, a 1 versus 1. But only one of these 2 players is the one that has to put the kit down itself. J90 has a very quick gun and a quicker hand here. Who's going to get the ring around the rosies? The drone gets caught out, the ping, the swap to the secondary, the look through the drone hole. Is he going in with a shotgun for rotations? The kit is back in his hand. He doesn't even want to reload. He's not sure of the risk, and this is the LMG. This is the game it can play. They're going to see each other around on the side of Laundry. He's close. There's the side.
Oh!
It's J90!
The bailiff! The bailiff somehow gets their kills. Not made for this, but just in time. 2 shots enough to lock out that 1v1. And Onigiri not allowed to win that one, but Elevated made it quite close at that very first push. And with that, it is Astralis still in the game with a 5-2 trail that they need to make up for. Oh, that got quite close there. Parker is just quickly coming to look over as well, and he's...
Defenders, protect your bombs.
I don't know if he's disappointed.
Zep Parker, you just missed the end of a round. Astralis, J90, he clutched it out with a bailiff.
Against an LMG.
Against an LMG. Impressive, says Parker.
5-2.
And now he's off.
And now he's off.
To do Canadian things, I assume.
Or American, as you called him back then.
I do. Okay, Astralis, 1 round by the skin of your teeth. I said J90 was the clutch out in the very first round. It wasn't really a clutch, it was the first round of the game, and it was won. But it was won very well by him. Let's be fair, I think it was a 4K, if not a 3K. Here, there, at the end of that, the rotation background towards Freezer, we assume we're not going to see a double rush. It was a good response from Astralis to get themselves back in, tucked around on the corner. It was a good idea from Elevate. If they put themselves on map point with that, then that gives them so much to play for.
I think if you look at it, the Ela shotgun was probably the worst gun to face in that situation. And if they would have waited 5 seconds longer, the Ela would have been long gone. They wouldn't even be in that situation. And they could have gone for the plant at that time. It's just an unfortunate time. Wrong place, wrong time. And just making sure that the Ela was actually able to get those shots down with the FO12. With that, Astralis, they live for now. No match point against them yet. No 5 match points, more importantly, against them yet. There is a bit of an understanding, though, from Elevate that someone could be in the big tower, but they're not putting full attention towards it, and that might cost them later on, because Iconic is just sitting here with the Aruni, has the opportunity to just one punch that window and instantly fire upon Mark, who's sitting on top of that roof.
Wow, under the sound of the sweet harmonica, Shuttle is going to just throw down that early smoke and keep anything potentially at bay. They have the chance of a swing round on a wall, and obviously we talked about the movement and momentum that Elevate took before on their approach. Astralis is sort of making the statement of saying, well, we're just going to have this open from the get-go. We're going to utilize it and slow you down on the door of things. Elevate are trying to get the catch in the rotation. They'll potentially go for something fast here. DCH stacked up on double window with nothing broken. There's players ready to potentially roll stuff through there and catch a rotate onto white. DCH is just going to open up the soft itself, see if they get a stretch, and Mr. Punch gets the grenade. There it was. All that count towards Shuttle on the far side, moves amongst behind the smoke itself, and they've taken some of the territory here.
I wanted to reactivate the laser cave there. It's like, wait, no. We don't do that here in the attack. Not now, at least, as Mr. Punch receives a bit more pressure coming in from the attic, from the pit, as J90 is looking to go aggressive with the MPX right here. But he's being circled around slowly but steadily, as Onigiri already has an entrance right into the site.
There it is, but you can still see Astralis are keeping them a bit at bay. DCH is that one bit of pressure on the other side that they haven't quite got rid of. There is the chance of a rotation. Iconics found himself a little bit closer, which has allowed J90 to move to the other side to try and counteract those Candelas. The man with the magical glasses of Warden can see through those if he is caught out. They're trying to buy them a second and a centimeter, but the hold underneath. Well, Mark's now on the plant spot. DCH gets the catch onto one. Forrest has found his way through. Onigiri,
below.
Now's the time to go for it. No, yeah, you're right, it's below. The kit doesn't go down. It's just one player left. Suddenly, there's the swing round. Forrest has made his way back up towards the top now in the position I thought he was, and now they're going to see if they can get the plant itself. No! Elevate, map point.
Elevate are able to put themselves up onto 6 here, Emmy, and that means they have 4 rounds to lock it off against one of the tournament favorites, Astralis. They came in second at Charlotte, and now they need to try and fight back against this APAC team. They've only ever won against them, but to be fair, it was only ever 2 games against them. Against the Chiefs, a 7-5 and a 7-3 victory they managed to put in on the group stages back then. But now Elevate, they have stolen at least 1 point. They might be able to get even more out of this one. And if they do get 6 points here, I'm not going to say it, but they are doing a very good job at making themselves head towards a top 2 spot in their major. Especially since no one else has managed to pick up points yet. So,
I mean, Elevate's group. This is the power of Dev and Mandy being here.
It is. They're not casting it.
No, but they're just here.
They're here indeed, yes. The APAC talent gives the APAC buff.
Yeah.
Also, you know, I heard he had, like, Onigiri, for example, he had a really good steak.
Wow.
He didn't put any ketchup with it this time.
Okay,
so that's improvement. And well, there you have it. Elevate currently 6-2. It's not quite a kill record game yet, but he's on 11 kills. He likes Oregon. Onigiri does.
I mean, yeah. I think it's fair to say that it's a good map. In the pockets and the side, he's caught up and now surpassed Mr. Punch, who has had an exceptional game as well. Mark, true. Sapper, you know, he's steady, he's in a positive KD. He hasn't been the leading man that he has been for the campaign to get the team here, but at this point, what else do they need? There's been a very good contribution. Oh, goodbye, Mr. Punch. First off the board, Forrest gets the opener here.
We're on a tertiary site though, Emmy. That is quite confusing. We are playing near the dining hall, and you know, there is a bit of verticality that goes in it, especially for the kitchen side of things. But they do have a Monty on the board, and that could be very, very valuable if they do want to go for an eventual push. DP Fire, though, will find Onigiri as well. Shuts him down. Brings it to a 3v5. J90 still playing inside this small tower, is going to be making sure that Elevate is not going to be having the best of times. And as these impacts get tossed out, it's not going to be doing too much against the shield.
That's it. Now it's a 5 versus 3, so Astralis can try and dedicate another person to try and get there, and that's the thing. They're waiting and baiting for the push and the pressure. They're hoping they can get it. It's not pre-placed, but it's ready to rip and tear over as soon as he gets the call. There it is. There's the movement back. They heard it get thrown. There's 3 of them all trying to go through one door. Monty's the first, but there is J90! Takes the header for DCH. Nobody can see a thing but Mark is able to at least cement one. Played in the suicide spot. The player is gone, but so is most of Elevate.
Yeah, there's only 2 members left. It's Sapper with a giant shield and a diffuser, and it's Mark who has 2 exothermics and a couple of smokes. Now, the first will be used to create a bit of a head-height opening that they can use to actually fight over towards the kitchen side. But it's going to be quite difficult, especially with Monty just dropping down. There's a mirror window on the other side of it. Mark probably is not going to be winning this round.
No, there's a lot to do, a minute to do it in, and even in the sort of position, they've retaken the suicide spot.
Yeah.
So
well, not yet, but
they are retaking it. Everything that they'd worked for is gone. Mark has an even tougher problem to deal with at this point. There's the player behind the mirror window, there's the player behind him. There's nothing else for them to really do, but have a bit of a chat. 45 seconds, they can slow the game down, they can get themselves back in and elevate. Oh, it's a tertiary site, but things got a little bit ahead of them. They have 3 more rounds after this one when it inevitably concludes.
And that means it's going to be at least 3 more different sites that they have to attack. So taking the time right now to discuss your opportunities for, let's say, the first 2 sites you're going to be trying is going to be a good shot. And after that, you still have your tactical timeout because Elevate hasn't called it yet, which you can use if things really do go down south. So Elevate have a good opportunity now to quickly get everything reset, quickly get everything rebalanced. Mark is about to go aggressive. He actually outguns Forrest's SMG with the new sock there. So he gets a kill for his efforts, but nothing more than that. It is round 9 that will head towards Astralis. And now, 3 more rounds that they need to win if they want to go to OT.
A journey ahead of them. The previous game for Elevate was a 7-4, and we're probably going to find ourselves down onto Laundry. Last time we were here, it was a Laundry-sided rush was the attempt on the lead-in. You're probably not going to see the same thing. The Warden playing against the Candelas has been a little bit of a consistent, so DCH is actually up to change there. The Twitch is going to be picked up instead to see if they can bring themselves a little bit of a different approach.
Of course, the rush last time around managed to get quite some kills on the board from either side, but we're probably not going to be seeing that, I assume at least. Who knows? It is still Elevate. They might still just go for another crazy push, you know? It's never really out of the books until we see those first 30 seconds and can indeed confirm that that is not going to be the plan. However, if indeed Astralis is limited on the side, if there's only 1 or 2 players playing around there and the rest is roaming, which could be possible with all the barricades that are being tossed up, all the rotations that are currently being made, and reinforcements that are being used, Elevate might just as well go through blue, for example.
I think that's it right now is, let's see what Elevate do more than anything, because to be fair to Astralis, their response to the rush was very, very well put together. Now they have so much more that they can try and
force inside.
That's it, yeah, it's only Forest.
I mean, he shut them down last time around, right? He is... Okay, that's a good start. It's DP4 taken out with DCH right there, and with that, it is going to be a 1-man advantage for Elevate here on a very important round for them.
I mean, that's it. DP Fire is gone. A big player on that role, and starting to come to a little bit more life here on the defense, and Elevate have that early body. They have that first with the slower, steadier hand. And the approach here, I have news on the first stream. Their game's already done.
Is it done?
Do you want to know the score?
What is the score
Close your ears if you don't want to know the result of NIP versus DK. 3-2-1, 7-1 to NIP. DK pushed aside. So Elevate currently massively taking all that APAC energy and flying that flag. They might be able to lock this out as a 7-3 and keep APAC balanced in terms of the back and forth. Let's slip back down to the site. The drones catch the roll, a minute gone, and I talked about how it was click before. There's DCH, able to find 1. There's got to be a massive play here round from Shuttle.
It is going to be that 3v5. Shuttle needs to hit big, and he is playing above on that meeting area. He has a hatch that he can work with. However, Elevate's still around, and as they're slowly starting to descend, these backstairs, Mark and Sapper are also starting to push in from blue. It looks like they just want to hit the side as Iconic seems to be going on a bit of a flank.
Here's Iconic round the corner. Onigiri's putting the Claymore down. The spray comes out, but it's revenge! Mr. Punch has the cover, has the catch, and there's one more. Shuttle is caught out. It is a 5 versus 1, a minute 20 for Forest to have any chance of holding on to this game here. Elevate. They are sitting on the precipice of top point. 6 points! APAC, welcome to the region. Welcome to our game, Astralis. Welcome to our group.
6 points on the board for Elevate in only 2 games. They've knocked out MNM in terms of their first points. They've just taken the very first of Astralis as well. And they sit alone at the very top with 6 points.